You still
Hello?
gotta stream. You still gotta stream on Discord.
Oh yeah, I got a stream, but it's a stream on, I have to check if the stream on my YouTube channel is working.
Yep. I see a stream right here. Let's start the Spinosaurus.
Alright, let's see. Okay. We are live. Let's see if I can make it so I can still kind of see the, Wait, can I not just do... Wait, how does it work that you have two screens? Two screens. You know how to do that? There's an option that you can add like an extra screen to your... Wait, let me see.
Oh, for what people do for the chat. For the chat in the game.
Yeah, that's like... wait, how do I go to settings? Settings?
Wait, where do you want to put the extra screen? You have like 2 monitors in front of you?
Yeah, I have two monitors. I have my laptop and it's attached to a monitor. Devices, right? How do I add an extra screen? I wish I knew.
Probably.
Yeah.
With the drawing you do.
Yeah.
You could probably become like a digital art director, or like not director, like art worker for like games. Imagine like dinosaur games. You could literally do that.
No, I'm not
Like
good
the
enough to do that though.
Animation, yeah, because you know the movement. You're just doing the animation step by step. You could literally draw the art design, the animation, and stuff.
No, I mean I would have to be really good. Oh man, I wish I knew how to add an extra screen, man.
Rainer Star says hi. Rainer says hey there, how's it going? And Etonoxo randomly said I'm mod between.
What? He said what?
Star says hi. Rainer says hey. How's it going? Like, and Etonoxo just said I'm mod between. I don't know what happened.
I'm mod what? Wait, I need to read it myself.
Between.
What? He said what? Oh wait, I'm mod, by the way. Oh, not between. He said by the way.
But I thought BT.
Yo, Rainer.
W means between.
Yo, it's a Noxel Star Scream.
Dude, I didn't know that. I didn't.
Enthusiast.
Didn't know...
What?
What?
Didn't know what?
I never knew that it means by the way. I thought it
Wait,
means
you never
between.
knew about it? Okay.
I swear. I thought it means between.
Wait, does anyone know how to add an extra screen? Because I have a monitor. But because I want to be able to read the chat as well.
You're not allowed to.
I literally cannot find it. Oh wait, screen, alright.
I killed you today. I killed you with a ramp.
You did. I hope you're happy with yourself.
Yeah, I am. I hope you're happy with yourself
look.
killing me. Feeding a crocodile with your friend. And I'm gonna starve because of you. Oh man.
Okay, wait. Oh. Oh, that's how I can do this. Watch. Wait, no. I did it wrong. Wait.
Method would rather be a herbivore. Living as a predator is much harder.
How do I do this, man? I'm still figuring out how to like set up like an extra. Oh wait. Oh wait.
Oh man.
Why can I not drag it any further? Oh wait. It's because of this. Alright, wait. I have to do it here. Okay, I have no idea. Okay, I'm just gonna give up. I'm just gonna make it how it was.
Look at this beautiful Picasso drawing we did yesterday.
Picasso drawing. Oh, that's how you... Oh! Okay, wait. I'm just gonna have to redo everything and do it, put it back. There we go. It's just a copy. No.
Etonoxo said, "Yo, dinosaur drawer, who's your best moderator?"
Best moderator.
Wait, is there even others? Did you ever?
Yeah, there's Paleo Draw is also a moderator. Okay, wait. Ah, there we go. Okay, everything is good now. I'm not gonna. Everybody is good at their own way, in their own way. I'm not gonna like give somebody, you know, like a better ranking than somebody else. But like everybody is equally important as moderator. Yes, he has. But like lately, he's just not been very active on YouTube. All right, so we are going to. I wish I could see the stream somehow, like the comments and stuff. But it's just gonna have to. Yeah. Can you just if you just keep on reading the comments, that would be really good. Okay, so we're gonna do the new Spinosaurus. We're gonna try to make a attempt at drawing a new Spinosaurus. So we're gonna make a new layer, which. All right, we're gonna start Oh, what did I just do?
I only see the stream delayed though. That's the only thing.
Oh wait, I forgot to stream on Discord. I got you, man. I got you.
Klein.
I am so happy that people cannot see what you just sent me on Discord. Like that's just so ridiculous. I'll just use this one for because I like to make those little.
It sound even worse than it is.
Yeah, it's not that bad, but like it's just so stupid. Oh wait. So I will have to use this one to the fullest.
Oh man.
What's wrong?
I did something wrong here.
What'd you do wrong?
I'm doing it right.
What did you do?
Nothing.
Alright, so we're gonna be using this area as our canvas. Let's make it a little smaller, the pencil. That's better. Alright, the Rex will always be popular, more popular than the Spinosaurus, no matter what. That is probably true.
And Rainer said, "Are you drawing the Paelo accurate Spinosaurus or the JP3 design?"
No, it's gonna be the paleo accurate, paleontologically accurate Spinosaurus. But I first want to get like a good composition going for an... Okay, so let's say it's fishing, right? How would it be fishing?
I hear it in a YouTube video, like, and you remember those cartoon videos where it's like where it's saying like why it sucks to be born as that and that, and they said that the Spino back then actually had their mouth in the water against the stream, of course, and the fish were literally like swimming through their teeth, and the teeth were blocking their yeah. So basically, they waited just for the fish to swim in front of them, and then it just snapped.
Yeah, you mean like this, like the head would like partially be in the water.
Yeah, and then the teeth will act like a catch thingy, you know, that they can't escape anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'm drawing from memory first, real quick. I feel like its neck would have been a little bit longer, maybe.
Reiner said the Paedo-accurate Spinosaurus is certainly one of the weirdest looking dinosaurs.
Yeah, kind of is. That's true.
So this is like the most newest, closest looking Spinosaur now.
I might have made his hand a little bit too extreme. No, this is like a new species of Spinosaurus that they found. I don't think it would have.
I know that's always a different species.
I don't know.
And where do you find the news? Is there like dinosaur news websites where they like update the news things? Like NASA.
There's like papers that are being published like every once in a while.
Mm.
I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, I'm just first doing like a little sketch of like my memory, like what I remember seeing in like the picture that Method sent me. Maybe the spine is not right though. I should just...
Method says true, but did you check the new Spinosaurus mirabilis? It's even weirder with this huge crest. Yeah, now we have S Spinosaurus, I guess. S. Aegipitaceus and S. mirabilis. Spinosaurus aegyptacus.
I think his arms are supposed to be a little bit more forwards. Let's quickly see what we can do. Ah, this is... Why do I always end up with like an eraser? It's way too small.
Has the paper regarding Bertha the T-Rex released yet? It's supposed to be just as large as Goliath the T-Rex.
A paper about a T-Rex. What about that?
Aegypticus. Like I don't know, there was like a paper, they said, regarding Bertha the T-Rex. Something about like a bigger T-Rex that's been discovered.
Why am I making it look like a circus? Oh, that sounds interesting.
No gain is here, and he said, "Hi, dinosaur drawer."
Yo. Hello there. No gain. Hi, dinosaur drawer. Yeah, welcome to the stream, man. So we're trying to draw the new Spinosaurus that has been discovered. New species that has been confirmed, I guess.
Robbie,
Mm-hmm.
have I ever told you about the story how I saw a real Spinosaurus?
You've never told me about that story, man. When have you seen a real Spinosaur?
I remember good. I remember it like it was my first time.
Like it was your first time what?
Seeing Spinos.
Alright, man.
Back then, like 8 years ago when I was in Albania, like, you know, there was like a beautiful turquoise river. And you know what I did? I was just like sitting on it, sitting there, like looking at nature. And suddenly I see like the gigantic spine like floating through the water.
Yeah.
And then it just crawled out of there and I saw it and I was like so scared. But I didn't move, you know, because if you cannot move, it won't see you.
Oh yeah. I remember that one.
And then it looked at me like 1 meter. It looked at me dead in my eyes, and then it just crawled back in the water. Yeah.
Alright, man.
First time I saw one.
And did you see it before, like after that as well? Because you said first time, so it means like you've seen it a couple more times, right?
Yeah. Of course. I saw it multiple times.
How many times did you see
Same area,
it?
different spot. 3 times.
3 times?
Yeah. Once in a movie, and another one in a game.
In a game?
In a game, yeah. And the first time I saw it in real life.
Okay.
I saw it before it even got discovered. Before the Spino even got discovered. I was actually the first one. I was actually
there's
the
no
one
way,
giving them the
man.
hint.
There's no way.
I was the one giving them the hint. I'm like, there's like a kind of dinosaur. He looked like that.
Alright, so this is our first attempt with no reference. And we're gonna try to do like a second attempt as well with like some reference going. Oh wait, I forgot. I still have this thing activated. I was wondering, like, hey, why are my lines so like they're not what I want them to be? I think the nostril would be a little bit more down like that. Okay, what would the spine look like actually? It would start probably like over here, go up, then over here it would probably go down. I don't even know, man. No, it goes way further back to I don't know what the spine looks like though. Maybe the spine is supposed to be a little bit bigger, I don't know. Okay, somewhere around 10.1 tons, just a little larger than the Sioux. Oh, you're talking about the new T-Rex? That's crazy, man. Alright, so also just because there was somebody that commented in one of my videos that he or she was very curious how to do poses and stuff like that. So I'll show you guys a little bit of like how to practice your poses and stuff like that. So let's say that you have a dinosaur right here, right? Let's just quickly draw a dinosaur. Alright, so here's the head, right, neck, body. Alright, so here we have our dinosaur. Let's refine the body a little bit. So this is the most important, like this is the easiest part of the drawing that you're gonna want to focus on when you're doing poses. For example, like this is just a circle with a triangle attached to it. If this dinosaur would be looking at us, it would look more like this. You're just gonna draw the circle and then just draw the triangle like this, right? Because that's basically what it would look like. Because here we have like the eye right here, and here the eye would be a little bit more like right there, right? But maybe you can also see part of that eye over there, right? It completely depends on the angle that you're drawing it at. And from here on, you can just focus on whatever you need to focus on, right? So this all depends on how much you want to change the angle up, right? So how do you explain this? So basically this is a circle with a triangle. You can make it look slightly towards us, like a 3/4 view, right? Because here's the triangle. But you have to keep in mind that the curvature, because this is like a complete sphere, it goes all the way around, right? From both angles. So that means that if you're going to attach the triangle over here, it's facing away from us, right? So you would see less of the head because most of the head is being covered by this part of the sphere. Or I mean this part of the sphere. See how, for example, the distance between this area and that area is smaller? That's because this area is being blocked by this curvature. Because if you just draw a straight line, you have the same. But because it's in 3 dimensions, you can't just draw a straight line. You have to pay attention to the curvature of the head. Well, dinosaurs are not, like, their heads are not completely round. So you would have to keep in mind that the anatomy says that this curvature is not completely round. So for example, like the eye area would be like this, and then it would go straight down a little bit, and then it would go down at an angle like here, and then we would have like the bottom of the bottom jaw, right? So if we're going to be drawing like the lips, it would kind of look like this, and then over here it would go out like that. I'm sorry, excuse me. And then it would come back around a little bit more like this, right? And then we just draw the lower jaw as well. I'm sorry, excuse me. I'm not sure if I muted myself there, but like I had to cough a little bit. So the top of the head is not round either.
No, 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 no.
Alright, so the top of the head is not round either. So we have to like stop it over there as well. So now we are looking at the back of the skull, right? It kind of goes a little bit more like this then.
You're just drawing the skull?
And a bit like that. Or maybe this is a little bit more straight because of the jaw muscles. And we don't really see the other side of the head because we're going to be drawing the neck, right? Well, this is basically how I break down doing poses. You break it up into simple shapes, and if I would erase the unnecessary lines now, you're going to see that we have just created ourselves a pretty good base, right? For whatever we're going to be drawing. Over here as well, because we don't need this to be like this. It can be a little bit rounder, like for example.
You remember you when we draw the Carnos together, and you just literally made me draw the Carno?
I remember that, yeah.
And I still believe it looked better than yours.
Could be. Alright, so now you are going to have to look at where the eye is going to be positioned. Actually, we're going to get this line back in. So this line would go at an angle like this.
Even have a screenshot of it.
Like that, right? So the eye would kind of be behind this a little bit as well. So you don't really see the full eye. Like for example, from the side perspective, you would see an eye that's shaped like this, right? But because of the way that we're looking at, we kind of see a rounded, like a more rounded eye over here, like at this area. Now the part that comes towards us is going to be a bit more pointy. Because if you look at an eye, for example, right? An eye is basically a sphere, like this. But it also has 3 dimensions as well. It's round, right? So, depending on the way that you're looking at it, if you're going to be looking at it from this perspective, right? Then you would be looking at the curvature. This curvature would be blocking the corner of his eye. Same thing applies to if you're looking at it from this perspective, right? The curvature is going to be blocking the corner of the eye. So you will see more of a curvature from this angle because the dinosaur is looking away from us. So instead of having seeing the corner of his eye, right, it's right. Let me zoom in a little bit. Like instead of like being able to see the corner of the eye, right, we're gonna see this curvature right there. And so we're gonna get rid of that area. I'm gonna get rid of this. And this is what you would see from this perspective. So if you just break down everything in the same way, right? For example, the body of the dinosaur, right? So right here, it looks pretty long. But the body is also has 3 dimensions, right? So that means that if you're going to look at it from a 3/4 perspective, same thing applies. It just becomes, what do you call that? Like the length decreases because, for example, this part, which is like his stomach, will be covering most of this, as well with the leg, because the leg would be kind of right there, right? Leg would be right there. So from this perspective, looking at it from the front, you would kind of only see this curvature and the leg sticking out, because the leg kind of sticks out even more. If you're going to look at this from the top, for example, right, here would be the rib cage over here. Then we would have like a little bit of an area like that, and then the legs would be attached to that. So as you can see, from this perspective, you would see this, right? This area. And you would see this. So everything that you won't see, you will have to leave out. So basically that means that if you can't just erase this. You have to like stick this right up against that area. So what that would look like is, for example, this, right? So this would be from the front view, right? We only see This is the chest area of the dinosaur, right? This is the rib cage, and then right behind the rib cage are the legs, kind of sticking out a little bit, right? So that is what you're seeing here. This is the surface that you will be able to see, and all the surfaces that you can't see, you just have to like get rid of, basically. So what you're going to draw is this, and then you just, you know, you don't have to draw everything behind that, because that's not, you can't see it, so it isn't there. And so that's called foreshortening. If you're going to look at this, for example, at like a like, let's just draw a, what do you call this again?
This?
Like a pipe shape or something, right? From this perspective, cylinder, yeah. From this perspective, it looks pretty long, right? But if you're gonna look at it from the front, you will only see that. If you're gonna look at it from a 3/4 view, you're gonna see, you know, gonna see that. And then there's also the part about like everything that's further away should be smaller. Well, that kind of applies when you're going to be drawing an environment as well, because you can just draw a dinosaur like this, right? Head is going to be here, neck is going to be there, body, right, legs, and then everything can just, you know, be pretty good size, like still like the original size. It doesn't really matter. But if you're going to draw an environment, and you want there to be a lot of like depth in it, you have to take into consideration that everything that's further away from you is going to be smaller. So you can also, if you're going to draw this cylinder, right, and you want to make it seem like it actually does have some length in it, you can just make it smaller the further it goes away from you. And this way, it still looks long, but it's a lot shorter than this. And if you're going to do it like this, that will kind of help you to make it look more believable in a way. So the first thing I would focus on is just knowing how to draw the head. Just only draw the head until you're comfortable with it, and just choose a dinosaur that you really like. Like, for example, I love drawing the T-Rex. So if I'm gonna draw the head of a T-Rex, I can just do it like this, but I can also just do it like, okay, let's just do it like with simple shapes, right? That's what you're gonna have to start with. Just gonna draw simple shapes like that, right? And then you're gonna block in very roughly what the head of a T-Rex would look like. Right? And this is like, it doesn't look very good right now, but like, that's alright, because the bottom jaw is not supposed to be that, it's supposed to be a little bit more like this. So now we're just gonna draw it like this, right? And just draw this until you're comfortable with it. And then you're gonna have to start thinking about like, alright, if I'm comfortable with drawing the T-Rex like this, then you should try to draw it in different perspectives. Like, you can actually practice doing it in like for example, right, you have to just get comfortable with the shapes of the head. For example, this is going downwards a little bit because it is, how do you say this? It's like pointing out from, it's further away, further out. No, I'll just show you. Like if the eye was here, right, and over here as well, then this little thing over there is pointing outwards a little bit more. This curvature is also going to be pointing out a little bit, right? And then over here, we have the front of his snout. Because if you think about it, right, if this side curves this way, right, then the other side should also curve that way. And then you just, it's not very accurate, like it doesn't, I'm not necessarily drawing only a T-Rex right here. I'm just trying to come up with a good example to explain, you know, how...
Look, it's a crocodile.
Like the basics of how this works. You would see like the back of his head right here as well. And then like the big jaw muscles. Yeah, it doesn't look like a T-Rex, but that's okay. It's alright, it's alright.
Look, it's sticking its tongue out.
And, well, you just have to make sure that you're gonna be comfortable with drawing all of this in different...
You know what it looks like?
what does it look like?
It looks like the Poposaurus from the front view.
It does, but but the reason why I'm drawing it like this is because I'm exaggerating everything like 10 times worse.
I know.
It's fine. So the same thing, like, okay, so if I would draw the T-Rex in a 3/4 view, what you would see is you could still start off with like the oval, but this oval is going to be a bit shorter, like it's going to be about that short, right? So let's just draw this from a 3/4 view, right? It's going to turn way more like a circle than before. And now I want to figure out like, okay, so the tip of the snout would be here, this area, right? It's going to be having a curvature right here. And if I look at this, it's not too much of a curvature. It just goes like that. And then it goes like that, goes outwards. And then this part is kind of getting covered by this bump, because this is kind of a bump in his face. And over here we wouldn't see exactly this point, but a point a little bit further. So we can go a little bit more straight up over here. And then the tip of its eye, the eyebrow over there on the other side would be visible from this angle, right? So we would be able to see it. And then on this side we would be able to see something as well. And then underneath that we can draw an eye. And then like the back of the head, back of the skull. Alright, so let's now attach the bottom jaw as well. And this is a curvature because it's supposed to be like, he has pretty nasty jaw muscles over here, so you would be able to see it going outwards here again. That's why this curve is right here. And you would attach that to the neck. And there you go. And then you just have to put in the features like nostril and maybe like some bony features, whatever there is over there, you know. And then the same thing applies about the eye as well. Here we can see the corner of his eye, and this is like a little bit more round. And from here on, if you like not press down too hard, you can start sketching out everything so that it looks more like a T-Rex. And you can just refine everything as much as you'd like. And this applies to every part of your drawing, basically. Wait, let me read the chat real quick. I feel God was a little tipsy because Carnotaurus' arms look ridiculously small compared to its body.
Disney movies and Jurassic Park things and Jurassic Park novel.
I mean, I'm pretty sure God wasn't tipsy when he created a Carnotaurus.
What the hell?
What?
I'll be back.
Alright. Alright, so this is just a face, but this is the most important part about your drawing, because when we're creating a character, there are certain parts that we want people to look at more than other parts, right? So if you just get the head done, like if you're really good at drawing the head, then everything else is going to be a little bit easier because you don't have to, you know, be extremely good at drawing feet or hands or whatever if you have a good head. All right, so now the same thing applies for the legs. There's a slight thing about the legs though that make it a little bit hard to draw sometimes. Like for example, we human beings, we have legs that just goes like this and like that, and then literally our feet are on the ground, right? And then our toes are right there. Dinosaurs, it's a little different. Dinosaurs, the line goes like, their bones go like this. Same thing though, same kind of bones, right? Goes like this, then it goes a little bit back, right? And then his ankle is right there, and he's standing right on his toes. And this is something you have to get down. A human being can also do the same thing, but the proportions would be a little bit different. Because dinosaurs have like really long toes, basically. This is what a human being would look like if they would do the same, probably. So, if a human being would do this, then he would have a calf muscle over here, right? And then his ankle would be over here, foot right there, and then his toes over there, right? This is a human being. And then we would have a knee over here, and then, yeah, the rest of our leg would be over here, right? But for a dinosaur though, the same thing applies, except we are, as humans, we're pretty thin, right? This is us, and we don't really have to carry that much weight with our legs. Dinosaurs though, they have to carry a lot of weight, so their muscles would have been way more extreme, way more exaggerated than just a human being. And then we have the ankle over here, right? Make sure you have like ball shape over there, ankle over here. Pretty thick ankle. You have to keep that in mind as well, because dinosaurs are pretty heavy, so the ankle would be pretty thick. And then we would have this going down like that, and then we have like one toe, two toe, and the third one would be behind that, right? Maybe this is a little extreme though, like maybe the muscles are a little bit too big, but you get the idea. Why is my Bigsby suddenly starting to talk? Now, if you want to draw this from a different angle, let's say a front view, we also have to pay attention to the fact that if this is the hip bone right here, right, then for humans, our legs are kind of like going straight down almost, right, like that, almost. For dinosaurs though, it's a little different. Dinosaurs' legs, or their legs, are pointed outwards a little bit more, and then here they go back inwards, and here they go back outwards, like that. So if you would draw this, you also have to pay attention to the fact that the front perspective of the dinosaur leg has less muscle because the dinosaur does not have to lift his leg up that way. It does not have to do that, or down that way, right? So it wouldn't have that many muscles, like, you know, trying to pull the leg outwards from the body, but it would have a lot of muscles trying to pull the leg forwards, right, and backwards. So the muscle is going to be mostly in front of the bone and behind of the bone, and maybe a little bit overlapping the bone. So that's what you're going to be seeing, the muscles that are overlapping, right? But because of the fact that it has a slight angle in it, we will be able to see the calf muscle from right there, and then the ankle right there, and then the toes would be like this. Same thing for this one, right? You don't really see too many muscles compared to, like, if you would look at it from that perspective. Wait, I'm messing up a little bit here. All right. Something like that, right? So this would help a lot if you keep all of this in mind if you're drawing dinosaurs. But the thing is, like, we cut a dinosaur in half right here, right? Because obviously you won't be able to see this exactly. This is just anatomy. Because the rib cage would be protruding outwards like this, and over here as well, right? And then the chest would be over here, and then you would have the arms over there, like if we're drawing a T-Rex, for example, right? And then the head would kind of be over here, and maybe you would be able to see the tip of the tail right behind, right? So basically, if you just know the basic anatomy of whatever you're trying to draw, you have to practice it until you are pretty decent at it, and then try to change the angle. Try to recreate whatever you did over here and try to do a different angle. The feet, welcome back, man. The feet, for example, is also something a lot of people would struggle with. From the side perspective, same thing applies, right? Just drawing a dinosaur foot, right? So just drawing that.
Oh,
Did something go wrong, by the way, because you had to go?
no, I just grabbed some food. Midnight snack.
Oh, okay. So from this perspective, you would see one toe and maybe the other one right next to it, because we're looking at it from the side. But turn this around, and then you're suddenly going to see 3 toes, and the ankle is going to get thicker as well, because the ankle from the front looks way thicker than from the side. So if I would draw this again, but from the front, yeah, a little bit more like from the front, you would see something a little bit more like this. The ankle is getting thicker, right? But then you see the toes kind of spreading out a little bit more at the bottom. So the best way to think about the toes is just basically make a platform, a little bit of a platform right underneath, right? And then just draw an extra little line right there. So now you have 3 claws, 3 toes, 1, 2, 3, right? And that's the easiest way to do that. But obviously this perspective isn't right, because the leg is pointing that way. Oh, it's pointing that way, right? But the feet are pointing straight towards us. So now we have to figure out, okay, so the best way to just do this is that the toes are going to have less space between them, and the toe that's going to be most likely to be pointing towards us is this toe. So what we can do is we can get rid of that toe, and we're just going to pretend like that toe is this toe, right? And but then it doesn't look quite right over here, so we would have to add an extra toe in between. That would make this toe a little bit less visible. And there you have the right kind of perspective. So the only thing you have to do is decrease the spacing between the toes. The more you look at it from the side. The more you're going to look at it from the front perspective, the more the toes will be spaced outwards. That is the basics, right? So now we're going to see, let's say you're looking at the dinosaur from a top view, or not exactly a top view, but like a little bit more from on top, right? Then you would see the toes as, well, let's draw the same leg again, right? Then you would kind of see the toes be spaced out a little bit, but also you would see part of the ground between the toes. So this part is a little hard, and you're gonna have to practice getting this right. Dinosaur feet are not easy to draw. It took me a long time to learn it. Somebody who is very good at it, I know for sure, is Method, who's in the stream, who's in the chat right now, actually, like talking. Yeah, he must have just really practiced it a lot, because that is the best way to improve, is just to practice a lot and know what you're drawing. Study the perspective of whatever you're trying to draw. Because if you know what you're drawing, it becomes easier. You can just start from wherever. Because right here I started with the foot, and I can just draw a whole dinosaur attached to it if I wanted to, right? And if you know what you're drawing, and you've practiced everything a lot, then everything becomes easier, and everything will start to make sense to you. Because there's a lot of people that are at the point where they want to draw something, but they don't know what they're doing wrong. Well, the best way to figure out what you're doing wrong is simply by learning how to do it right. You know, and the way to do that is just, you know, practice anatomy until you understand it, you know, until it's going to start to make sense a little bit more. All right, I hope that this actually helped some people, because I know that there are some people that are struggling with this a lot, and it is, you know, it is hard making a full tutorial, keeping it under like 20 minutes, because this takes time to explain for me. I can't just explain this within like a couple minutes and be done with it, because then you won't really know the full story of it, and it won't really make sense. All right, let me read the chat a little bit, because I see there's a lot of stuff going on in the chat right now.
Were you done with the spinal?
I can still, you know, I could still go for another Spino.
I thought you were about to do a drawing with colors.
Oh, no, I don't think I'm gonna do a drawing with colors though. It's gonna take another hour or something. Because this is such a stupid little drawing, but it took me about like an hour and 40 minutes. That's insane. No, I mean, I don't know. It's just a stupid little drawing, you know. But all right. So, what do you guys think? The people that are still watching and are still like in the chat and stuff, what do you guys think about the explanation, and is there something that I should add or something that I might have missed?
Can I review it?
You can review it, yeah.
I think your explanation was terrible and it sucked.
What?
I'm joking. I just tried to be mean. I was like, I think your explanation was terrible and it sucked. Dislike this stream. I'm kidding.
Wow. No, sorry. I was reading the chat at the same time, but like, yeah.
No, it was really, no, I liked it. I mean, I knew already, because you told me like already like long ago, like with the different angles and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
it was good.
This is like, it's just a basic thing that if you know how to learn, this, it's gonna get a lot easier. But if you don't know this stuff, then you just don't know how to draw a dinosaur, you know, like it might not make sense to you. Like maybe you're drawing like, for example, you're drawing it. Let me zoom in a little bit here, over there. Like, let's say, right, you're gonna be drawing a dinosaur like this. Where's the, oh yeah, you're gonna be drawing a dinosaur like this, right? You're gonna draw the face, mouth, neck, body, tail, legs. All right, so this is how you are able to draw a dinosaur, and I would still say most people aren't even able to draw this because they they draw the neck like that or something, and then they have the body that just doesn't make sense. It's like a weird shape, and then the tail just does this. A lot of people draw it like that, but the issue with this is just because they're not breaking it down into small pieces. Because if I go for drawing, I just need to first practice this, right? So I need to practice how to draw the head. What?
It looks like an oxalotl or something.
It does. Then I have to practice how to draw the neck.
It looks like those baby frogs with those tails.
Then the body. The body, you can split it up into two areas, because this is like the chest area, and then the rest of the body is a little bit more curved like this. Right, then the hip, and then the tail. If you break it down, everything is going to be a lot more easier to draw, like no matter what. Same thing applies for perspective, right? It's just always, you just have to break it down and make it easier for yourself. And if you're, okay, there's one thing though, if you don't know how a dinosaur moves, for example, like, because I just drew this, right? This leg is kind of like lifted off the ground, and this leg is kind of pushing off of the ground, right? So if you don't know how a dinosaur moves, then you just have to look at yourself, right? Just imagine you are the dinosaur. You're a human inside of a dinosaur suit, right? How would you run if you were the dinosaur? How far would your leg be able to like stretch forwards? The best way to look at this is also chickens. Chickens have a certain way of walking. It looks like they walk like dinosaurs, like definitely. Right, wait, let me check the chat because where's my pen? Oh, there it is. Yeah, I could still go for another Spinosaurus like sketch real quick, and then I'm gonna end the stream. I think you did the explanation good. Of course, this is a bit improvised, so it could be a bit better and more clear. Yeah, no, yeah, obviously that's like true. Like, I mean, the thing is, like, it is improvised because I'm trying to like cover as much as possible without having like a time limit, because I'm just, you know, I'm just going with the flow. I mean, I drew Egon Ultima from 3.4 3/4 front view, and it was a headache. Yeah, well, the three-quarter view, in my opinion, is the best view you can draw anything in. This is also three-quarter, right? It's all about knowing how an enemy works in 3D space. You have to like it. You also have to train your mind with it. It's not only muscle memory. It's also like you have to train your mind to understand it better. I keep pressing something. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, for me, it's a little bit of Like it's already kind of engraved in my mind. So it might be a little bit easier. But it is also about like understanding how things work in 3D space and how foreshortening works. T-Rex as well, you know, like you're just foreshortening everything that you cannot see. Same thing as what I did here, right? Because this part of the head is basically covering a whole portion of the front of the, like this area. It's like completely behind. Like if I'm gonna draw a straight line, then this area from here to about over there is all not visible. That's basically how it works. Same with the snout. Like over here, you don't see the tip of his snout. That's why the curvature is a little bit more extreme over here. You don't really see the tip because it is here as well. And that applies to everything. Everything. Right here, there's a part of the neck that you cannot see, where it like attaches to the dinosaur itself. Like this whole area is just not visible. It's a cylinder, but it's still behind that area, right? Part of the body over here is just not visible because of the fact that the neck is in front of it. Here as well, the tail, right? Tail kind of starts over here, but it's not visible because the leg is right there. And we can keep on going with this like forever. There's like a lot of stuff is just being covered by the body, especially when the more your subject or character is like facing you, especially dinosaurs in this case, the less you're going to see of his body. But that does mean that everything that's closer to you will be bigger. If I want to draw a T-Rex that's like kind of like, okay, let's say like the body's over here, right? This is the body, kind of, and then the tail would be over there because it's like pretty far away, but then his head would be right here because he's like right up into my face, right? So this is what we would be seeing. Right, and then we would see part of the leg over here. See how everything else becomes smaller because of the fact that he is kind of like, maybe he's walking towards us a little bit, and this leg is like in the air like that. Something like that, right? So because he is facing us, then the part that's like closest to us will be most visible. And we don't even see his neck right now. Notice about take note of that as well. Like this perspective, we can't even see his neck, even though we know that there's a really big long neck right behind his head. We can't see it. We probably wouldn't be able to see the other hand, the other arm either. Maybe like part of it like that, right there. Okay, let's see about the chat. What about a bird's eye view perspective when drawing a dinosaur? That's a good question. That's difficult because the perspective completely changes. The most basic thing is that if you look at, okay, let's say we're putting the T-Rex into a gigantic cylinder, right? Then right here, cylinder is pretty big. right? But right here, cylinder became a lot smaller, right? So this is kind of how you have to see the perspective. But if you're gonna look at it from a bird's eye view, this cylinder suddenly becomes different, right? It becomes more like I don't even know if I have space to draw anymore. Let's erase this thing, this drawing over there. Okay, let's get rid of this real quick. Alright, so the cylinder suddenly becomes this because we are in the air, right? We're in the air. But we're looking down on an animal that is closer to the ground. So the cylinder does something like this right now. So that means that if we're going to be drawing something inside of this, and it's a bird's eye point, like, okay, wait, it's a bird's eye view, so it should be a little bit wider maybe, right? Over here as well. Alright, so if we're going to be drawing a dinosaur, we can't just draw it from the side because we're not looking at the side. We are looking at it from the top view, kind of. So we would have to draw the same kind of anatomy, right? But like have to keep in mind that everything that we're drawing right now is more from the top. Alright, so now everything that's going to be closer to the ground will become smaller. And some parts we wouldn't even be able to see. We can see 3 toes maybe. Some parts we wouldn't be able to see. And we would be able to see the spine right there, probably, right? The neck right here. And then the width of the head. And then the neck would be a little bit less thick, but it gets thicker the more you go like over to the rest of the body. Right, then we would be able to see the structure of how the rib cage works, right, on both sides. And then we would be able to see like the leg sticking out over here, ankle right there, the feet. We wouldn't even be able to see the other foot because that one would be like on the ground over here somewhere. And then the hand, like the arm, would be really thick at the top and then become really small at the bottom, right? So it's not exactly the bird's eye view, but it is from, well, I mean, maybe it is bird's eye view, you know? And then you would you would be able to draw like a little bit of shadow underneath because right now you don't really know what's going on. Right? And this way it becomes a little bit easier to visualize things. So now I'm gonna box this out a little bit more because I want this to be a little bit more like an actual three-dimensional being. And then here would be an eyebrow. Well, actually it's getting so messy, but and if this would be T-Rex, would see,
you know, when you have
there.
like a video game, you buy, for example, like the deluxe edition, and they always have like the digital art book, where they show how the developers were creating like sketches of the characters or whatever. This is exactly what it reminds me of the entire time looking at this, all what you do, like a digital art book.
I mean, the drawings aren't that good though. They're just really really standard. Maybe no, you wouldn't be able to see this foot because it's like right there.
It's so funny, the T-Rex is like staring into your soul.
Which
looks
one?
so derpy. It looks so derpy.
Oh, you mean
The
you mean this one?
Spinosaurus one.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spinosaurus one.
Okay, wait, let me check the chat. I sadly am not skilled enough yet. I think that's what you mean. To be able to draw that, I think. I honestly can see why it'd be tough to draw a dinosaur from a bird's eye view. It is very tough. It's really hard. So if drawing the T-Rex's face from the front, the tips of the brows would be poking out of the circle guidelines. That depends. The way that I do it, I just visualize it. Okay, so I draw a circle, right? This is the circle, and I can draw a human skull on this if I wanted to. I'm just gonna do that real quick, right? I can do a human skull. Right. Or I can, that doesn't really look like a human skull, but like I don't draw human skulls, so but I can also make the same thing into a dinosaur. Right? I just draw the eyes, position of the eyes, right? And let's say we're drawing a predator. Well, the eyes might be looking straight at us in that case, because it is a predator. Predators have binocular vision. It means that they can look, they can match both eyes into the same field of view or whatever. I'm not sure how to explain that properly, but I know that the Tyrannosaurus has, for example, like pretty bony ridge over here, but we don't see everything because of the fact that it's a from point of view perspective. Then I know that he has like those kind of like inflatable, or not really inflatable, like he has a little bit of a rounding here on his face, right? And then I know that this part should be curved like that. Alright, I also know that he has pretty extreme ridges right above his eyes. And I know that this is probably going to, you know, make him look very angry if you look at him straight into his face, you know? Well, I know that he has these kind of protrusions on the side that make his skull or his head a little bit bigger because he has a really nasty, hard bite. He can bite pretty hard down on his prey or any type of bone. Then I know that if I'm going to be drawing a T-Rex with lips, then I won't have to worry about teeth. So I can just draw in front of his mouth like that, just closed. But I want this to be a little bit rounder because I know that the T-Rex has pretty big jaws. Alright, I also know that he probably has the top of his head right in between these eyebrows. Well, before you know it, you're already on your way drawing a pretty decently looking Rex from the front view. And you can apply this to anything as long as you know the anatomy of whatever you're drawing. For example, T-Rex has a pretty wide head, right? We're just going to be drawing it like this. This is the head. But then this area, the snout, is kind of like going forwards like this. Right? That is like the nose of a T-Rex. But then you know that you can see the eye ridge over here. And there should be an eye ridge over here. Because the eyes are going to be right there. and right there. Well, over here, his jaw is not done yet, because his jaw kind of connects to the back of his head as well, right? That's this protrusion that you're seeing right there. And then the top of his head would be over there. Then you're just going to connect everything. And there you would have the same T-Rex, just from a different perspective. And I'm going to erase these lines, obviously, so that you can have a little bit more of a clearer vision of what it would look like.
Wow.
And now the only thing that really changed is that we're drawing lines to indicate, you know, what we're seeing. So this line is basically this part of his nose. Everything in between this part of his nose and his eye is going to be gone when you're foreshortening. And then this part obviously would be completely visible, which is this part. And then we would have the very bony iris, or I mean nose. What is it called? What do you call it? Like a nose, whatever, whatever you call that. And we know that this part is probably going to be attached to it, right? And the nostril over there. All right, let me see the chat real quick. So if drawing the T-Rex's face from the front, the tips of the... Yeah, okay. Binocular vision helps with measuring distance, gives a better view of depth and clarity of what you are seeing, because you combine two... I keep having to like move the chat because there's like something right in front of the letters that I can't read it, so that's why I'm like reading like this. Two images with each other. Yeah, that's true.
It's like it's like dyslexia.
No, this is not because of dyslexia. This is because, and every time I look back at my streams and I read the chat, I'm like, it's just because I keep having like the bottom comment is always right on top of something, and I have to like keep on moving my chat in order to read it like completely.
Helps with measuring the...
Yeah, man.
The distance. No.
And by the way, from this perspective, you don't see the neck. The neck is thinner than the head itself. But from this perspective, though, you would be able to see the neck. All right. So those are the basics of perspective and drawing your dinosaurs in different poses and perspectives. Posing, knowing like how the dinosaur is gonna stand or stances or whatever you know, that is something that you can look up like in real life. You can look at chickens, but you can also look at human beings. So I don't have room to draw anymore, man. Should I just make a new... Alright, file, new, and then okay. I'm gonna have a second one here. Alright, so poses and stuff are, for example, if you see a human having like a really spectacular pose or whatever, for example, like a human holding a sword, like this is the sword.
Me holding a sword.
And then the human is like holding the sword up like this, right? And there's sort of like a dynamic thing about this.
I haven't drawn like this before, like sword fighting, like cartoonish anime style.
So
That was the first perspective.
this is your first thing that you drew?
Not this. I'm gonna send you a picture.
All right, I'll look at it in a bit. Okay, so right now this does not look very dynamic. It just looks pretty straight. But sometimes you can do something with, for example, like a curve. Like let's just draw a curve through it like this, right? And then the human, like this would be the head, and maybe the sword would be like that, and holding the sword like that maybe. And then the other hand would probably be like that a little bit more, right? Or maybe like we would have a curved. Let's draw like one knee like this, and then the other one like that. Right, so this way it's way more like dynamic than like that, and that's like kind of what I do as well with my drawings. Like if I'm drawing a sauropod dinosaur, for example, I like to draw a line like that first, and then I would like to attach the head over here, tail would be there. So how am I going to make this work? Well, it's pretty difficult, to be honest, but if I just know the anatomy a little bit, you know, I'm going to have this part of his body facing me, and then I know that the front limbs are probably going to be longer than the hind limbs. But maybe this foot should be up. This is a pose I use a lot for sauropod dinosaurs. And then here we would have, for example, like his hind legs, right? And then we can draw a tail attached to it. But the tail doesn't have to be the length of the line of action that we're drawing. And the head or the neck doesn't have to be the length of the line of action that we're drawing. In this case, I'm gonna use this as, you know, the final product though, but like, and then you just do something with it. You can even make his mouth open. Let's just redo that part though, because I don't like how that went. Alright, so I won't really exactly follow this line of action. Like I won't really how do you say this? I'm just gonna use it as a skeleton, you know, as a skeletal base.
Where's the picture?
What?
I'm trying to find a picture, man.
Right, maybe this is a little bit too long, so I can just add the head over here or something.
And in here from 2011 or something. 2000, no, not 11, but 2013. Maybe 11 even. 12.
Alright, so here we have a drawing that looks a lot more dynamic than if you would just try to do something from your head. Because I'm drawing, like I'm using a line of action, which can greatly help you to improve your poses. Try to make it look as dynamic as you can, actually. Let me erase a couple of those lines right here, because alright. So if I would draw a, let's see, what should we draw? Yeah, let's draw a running dinosaur. Same thing applies, right? We're just doing the body over here. Then the neck would be stretched out a little bit because of the fact, like, you know, you're trying to make it as dynamic as possible. It's running forward, so the momentum is all going in that direction. So that means that everything that you're drawing has to kind of like curve either away or towards this direction. So here we have the head, the neck, body, and now we're gonna enter into the area of, for example, one of his legs. So this leg, we want it to curve away from the direction where should have momentum, or whether the momentum is going, because this is pushing us towards it, basically, right? And then this leg, which is going to be on this side, because we have to pay attention to the fact that it's a three-dimensional shape right here. So this leg is attached to this part of the body, and this leg is going to be attached to the other side. This leg would have to go like this.
I cannot find it.
And this way, you're creating something that looks really dynamic. And it definitely helps with the poses that we're like trying to get into, you know. And then over here we have one hand and two hands, or arm, I mean. As long as you have the direction of the shape correct, you can always go in and refine everything. And we can make this, for example, let me get my brush a little smaller. And actually, yeah, let me get my brush a little smaller. Maybe this should help, right? Yeah. So we can go back in.
Here it is.
And create some feathers.
On it, Robbie.
You found it?
After like 20 years.
After like 20 years?
This drawing is years, like years old. I just got bored. I have so
I'm
much.
gonna look at
I
it in
never
a bit.
shown you my. Yeah, I've never shown you my drawings, my anime drawings and stuff.
Anime
Naruto.
drawings?
Yeah, from Naruto, and like tattoo drawings, like tattoo style kind of drawings. I have so much stuff actually.
It's really awesome. I really want to see that. Alright, and here you can see how I'm like building everything up from that line of action. And I kind of want to go back into this sauropod dinosaur as well, and maybe just add some extra little detail here and there, just to
I just send you some because this box I have it like since I was like what 13, 14. It's like a whole shoe box with old drawings of mine and like, yeah, crazy.
I'm really curious. I really want to see it.
Oh, okay, yep, it is from 2011. The first date I noted on the top of the box is 2011. Then it's 12, 21, 20, 22. Oh my god, I forgot to do 23, 24. Oh my.
And the reason why I'm struggling, by the way, is because everything is really small, and I'm like, I'm getting too lazy to like correctly zoom in and everything. But yeah, like these are the basics, and if you get these down, everything is going to become a lot more easier, like in general. I really hope that this did something for you guys. I really do hope so. And with this, I will end my stream right now. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Why can I not move it? Wait. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next stream or the next video.
Bye bye, guys.
Bye bye.